So good to have you with us. I'm sitting with a genius, a music genius. Thank you for joining us here in the studio.
Oh, my pleasure.
So after looking at all those pictures and those flashbacks over the years, are you the same man?
No, I don't think so. I'm constantly evolving, trying to work on my whole being to better myself and the world around me.
You're also a Jehovah's Witness now.
Yes.
How has that changed your life?
Oh, immensely. I started studying the Bible once I changed my name back, and started studying with my good friend Larry Graham. He used to play with Sly and the Family Stone, and he helped me to just look at the Bible in a very practical way, to cut through all the dogma and the thing that has kind of separated religion in the first place. I just wanted a clean, simple approach to it.
And it helps you with your music as well.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's going to help you with every aspect of your life. Once you can clean out the cobwebs, so to speak, then you're going to see everything a little bit more clearly.
I want to talk to you about the name change and really about all of your wonderful experiences, but let's begin with the new album. The new album coming out tomorrow, you're back on tour. What are some of the best and worst parts about performing live once again?
Well, there's nothing bad about it.
You still get the
definitely
jazzed up and
yeah, because every concert, every performance, there's going to be somebody there that's never seen me before, and we have a lot of fans that are bringing their children to see me for the first time. So I'm trying to give them an introduction to music the same way I was introduced to it, which was with real live instruments and a real visceral approach to it.
It's interesting that you mentioned children coming to watch you, because that brings up the whole issue of this indecency craze that really is going on right now after Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake's performance, the Super Bowl. What did you think about that?
Well, the whole situation, I think, is a little bit bigger than the performers themselves. When I reflect on it, looking back at 9/11, you see that we were sort of galvanized to come together and do something. And our so-called leaders told us to go back to the malls and spend money, get back on airplanes and things like that. And really, I think all of us are pretty much searching for just clarity and some sort of order in our lives now. And that's part of it. So, and the other thing is that I have a responsibility to the children that come to the concerts to not expose them to anything that would be, considered raunchy or risque. I think all artists have that responsibility.
And you're thinking about this. I mean, when you're writing and when you're performing, this is something that you're aware of, this responsibility that you have to make sure that you are above the line and not coming across raunchy or something that would be considered wrong or indecent in front of children.
Well, ultimately, I'm not trying to be obscene to anybody. So I have to take these things into account. The other thing, too, is that just, like I said, study of the scriptures helps one to understand that we're all in this together. And I wouldn't want my children exposed to something that would be pretty hard to explain on the way home, so I feel that I've got to, take that responsibility myself. So
maybe it was the right thing that Howard Stern was taken off the air, and that, we've seen a lot of results from that episode, and just this changing of thinking. Yeah,
I really can't speak so much for that, but I don't know. Like I said, I just think people are seeking order in their lives now, and it's if nothing else, it's getting us all to just talk to one another about these issues. They're important.
Let's talk back about the new album. You've got a lyric on the first track of the new album, Musicology, and I'm going to quote, "Don't you miss the feeling music gave you back in the day?" Is this a nostalgic album?
In some respects, yes. The video was from Musicology. It chronicles the tale of a young man who is buying his concert ticket for the first time and gets a record for the first time. And he's a guitar player. He's an up-and-coming guitar player, and he puts the needle on the record and he has to learn the song. And that's kind of how I grew up. And it was a certain feeling that I got from real live instruments that you don't really get today, because a lot of it's pre-recorded samples.
Do you feel like growing up in Minnesota and staying there keeps you humble? I mean, it seems that, you know, for such a fantastic superstar, you seem so humble.
Well, I appreciate it. I think, yeah, Minnesota probably has a little bit to do with that, but I'm also very grateful that I've been blessed with the gift that I have, and also the love of the people, because without them, it'd be pretty tough out here. It's a hard business.
Prince, we were just talking before we went to the break about how you were with a record company, and then you sort of, in 1999, you broke the contract with Warner Brothers. What happened? And now with this new album, Musicology, you're back with a big label. Why the change again?
See, I can put this. From time to time, I go back and forth into the industry, and I give them things to promote. The first being Emancipation, the album I recorded after I left Warner Brothers. And I had a good run with Warner Brothers. It got to a point, though, that we had some disputes about ownership and things of that nature. We're working all that out now, and there's a new regime over there, and I expect good things in the future. So there's no hard feelings or anything like that. But like I said, from time to time I go back and do major label agreements so that I can reach a wider audience with certain projects that I think fit that situation better. I did an album called The Rainbow Children recently, we were real proud of, and we released it independently and had a lot of success with that, and did a tour behind it. And sometimes when you do things of a more heady nature, it's better to do them independently. But this is a pop record. There's a lot of, Musicology is a pop record, and there's a lot of radio-friendly songs on there. So we thought it'd be best to hook up with a major this time.
When you were with Warner Brothers initially back in the 90s, it was well known that you had a lot of songs that you wanted to release. Well, you correct me if I'm wrong, that you had a whole host of songs that you wanted to release, and they didn't want to release them all at one time. Is it true that you have songs that you would like to release and you could release right now, ready to go, and you actually never released them?
Well, like I said, one of the main problems with Warner's was just ownership issues. Who was going to actually own the intellectual copyright of the piece that was created? And the way I looked at it, if I was the only one in the studio at the time creating this work, I felt that I should be the one that should own it in perpetuity. At the same time, doesn't negate the idea that they can lease it and make money off of it. And we can all do fine.
Yeah, you said perhaps one day, all the powers that are will realize that it is better to let a man be all he can be than to try to limit his output to just what they can handle.
Yeah, that sounds like a soundbite.
Probably doesn't tell the whole story.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it true you only sleep 3 hours a night?
I only got 3 hours last night. The spirit moves me to just write and record as much as I can. I'm trying to. I'm as intrigued by the end of this story as other people, I guess. So I just keep going.
What gives you the most creativity? When do you get most creative? Is there something that begins you off, when you start writing?
Oh, I can write a song about anything. So a conversation, an idea, a dream, anything.
Why do you think the music industry is doing so poorly right now?
Well, when I talk to some of the people in it that are the so-called gatekeepers and run the shop, they attribute it to a few different things. One, of course, being the piracy and the downloading. From my point of view, though, it's not so bad because I have a music club, and that's basically what its primary function is a download system. So I don't want to intellectualize their situation too much and talk about it too much, because I think it's going to sort of organically work its way one way or another, and I think it's a good thing either way it comes out.
But we've got to, I mean, if I were an industry executive right now, I would say, well, we've got to do something about this. So tell me about your solution, npgmusic.com.
Well, from our point of view, like I said, we're the artist and also the distributor. So, you know, it's a little different situation. I don't have to sign myself to a label. I don't have to restrict myself to only being exclusive to one particular situation. So it's a whole different way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm. Should other artists, you think, be doing this?
Well, I think it would be cool if they had the right to do it and still, you know, had their major label deals as well. I mean, there's enough to go around, you know. I mean, we got to do something though, and we're all in this together. So ultimately, you know, like I'll have discussions with execs, and we discuss all kinds of different ways. One of the things we're doing is giving the album to everyone that comes to the concert, and ultimately, basically what we're trying to do is just create a peer-to-peer relationship that gets the music out there, and that's all it's really about anyway.
Mm-hmm. What do you listen to when you're not listening to your own music? What other music do you like? What other artists?
There's other music? No,
well, you write for so many, you've written songs for so many other artists, so.
Yeah. I'm digging Alicia Keys, Beyonce. I'm hoping D'Angelo comes back out with something pretty soon.
Opening up the Grammys with Beyonce must have been a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a blast, yeah. She's very talented.
What do you feel like playing tonight, if you were to play something for us?
If I was to play something for you, I'd be your accompanist, and you'd do your thing.
But I'm not a singer.
Neither am I.
Yes.
You look a little nervous.
I am nervous because we just went through this during the commercial break, and Prince said that he would play a song if I were to sing, and I'm not a singer, and I don't know a lot of the words to the songs. So, would you want to play something for us?
I'll play something for you.
Okay.
You thinking about what you want to sing? How about Delirious? Go on.
I'm like blanking out with the words.
You don't know any blues?
Blues? I have a jazz. I didn't know you were going to do this. Okay. How about one of your oldies? Since you're telling everybody that you're not going to be playing your oldies anymore, how about Purple Rain?
I don't know that one.
You do. You lie.
Okay, you sing it.
How could I even try? I'm sitting here with Prince. I'm gonna sing.
She's tearing up. Oh.
That's not what the audience wants. You're killing me.
That's the idea.
You are great, Prince. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I wimped out. I'm afraid because I don't have a voice. And I'm sitting here with the genius of all music, and you're asking me to sing. Good luck on tour.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with the album, and
Appreciate
we are
it.
so glad that you came to the studio. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Really great meeting you. Everybody, Prince, his new album is Musicology, and it is out tomorrow. Run out.